Well, now it's time. Hey everyone, welcome to Marie's Casual Corner. I'm Marie, and today we're going to be reviewing The Shining. I'm hoping this will go more than just a minute, so please bear with me. In the description below, you will have all of the stats for the book, number of pages, when it was published, who published it, all that fun stuff there. So let's just get right into it. Overall, I liked it, of course, but it was a very slow start, slow burn, which I know helps build suspense, but this seemed to be slower than most. One of my favorite scenes in the book, which was not in the movie, which we'll get into later, but was in the miniseries, which we'll get into in a different video, was the hedge scene. Well, all of the hedge scenes, actually. The way it was described was just wonderful, and you definitely can't get that across in a movie or in a TV show. I really like the fact that they showed a slow descent into madness for the main character, Jack Torrance. He is a former teacher who lost his job due to his alcoholism and, of course, attacking a student who, to be fair, had slashed his tires. You have his wife, Wendy, who is, cool. Definitely a mom, really cares about her son, but seems to be like a little overbearing. And then you have Danny, who is really the main focus of the book, aside from Jack and, of course, the hotel. Danny is 5 years old and very precocious. He has what is eventually called to as the Shining, where he just knows things. He has an imaginary friend, as they describe it, named Tony. And just so you know, this is full of spoilers, and I'll take care of that in a little bit as well. In the end, you find out that Tony is actually just Danny. But the Overlook, once it gets there, really, really wants Danny just because of his abilities. The hotel really feeds off of it. And again, going back to Jack's descent into madness, in the beginning of it, he's really struggling with his addiction, and it shows, but he's well into his recovery, but he's still struggling very, very much. And then once we get to the Overlook, it totally changes. Like, I don't know, very hard to describe, I guess, but the hotel knows the only way to get to him is by using alcohol, which they do later in the novel. You can tell that Jack really loves his family. He wants to reconnect. He wants to be with them, wants them to be a whole family again. A little backstory on that is that Wendy is not trusting at all because of how he was before. And when Danny was 3, I believe is what it said in the novel, he was being a toddler and threw some papers that Jack had been working on onto the floor and spilled beer on them. And Jack was drunk and broke his arm, which Wendy still holds against him. Danny remembers, but he's 5 years old and he knew that it wasn't really his dad acting like that. It wasn't really how Jack was towards him. Now, Danny loves both of his parents, but he really seems to be drawn to his dad. It's kind of hinted that maybe Jack may have a little bit of what Danny has, and that also possibly Wendy. But Danny is a star, a shining star, for lack of a better term, for this. Overall, I really think everybody should read this novel. It's one of Stephen King's best works, in my opinion, along with several others that I would recommend. I don't really know how to continue this. Um, I think that's all for now. Next, I will be reviewing the movie. I'm going to try to get that done midweek. Miniseries is after that, and then the comparison. Miniseries review will be out at the end of the week, probably Saturday, and then I'm going to try to do next Sunday the comparison. Uh, let me know what you think.